Hello and welcome. There is a lot of uproar, a lot of talk, protests going on about India's table tennis selection for the Asian Games. Manika Batra has already protested. There are multiple newspaper articles. She has put on X tagging the Prime Minister and the Sports Minister and urged for intervention. By the way, it is not just Manika Batra. If you take a look at the men's selection, you will see the case of Ankur Bhattacharya is also similar. Now, why are these people protesting? Is there a logical case for protest? That is the first question that we have to ask in this video. That is Manika Batra protesting, because of vanity that she is Manika Batra brand? Does she have a logical right to protest? Does Ankur, who has not said anything in the public domain yet, but has spoken to people within his sources, are they? And I'm privy to certain WhatsApp chats which have been circulating within the table tennis fraternity. I've spoken to multiple players of record. Are these people do they have a logical case? The answer is yes, they do. What is the selection criteria? By the way, I'm holding the selection criteria which has been issued by the Table Tennis Federation of India. It says that for the seniors, there are for all categories, for the seniors, national performance, which means domestic tournament performance, matters 50%. Selection committee has a 10% discretion. International performance matters 40%. Now, this is quite bizarre. You are choosing teams for international competitions like the Commonwealth, like Asian Games or the Olympic Games. How is it that international performance will be given less importance compared to domestic performances, and the selectors will also have a 10% discretion? At this point in time, it is 60-40 national and selection committee prerogative, 40% international performance. Now, if anybody knows table tennis, you will know that even the boards are different. The boards that are used in international competitions and the boards that are used in India are different. International performance is what should matter. Manika Batra, and I can tell you, I've spoken to players within the Indian team who are saying they are absolutely shell-shocked. They are stunned. Instagram messages have been sent out among close friends where people have spoken out for Manika Batra, but they are unable to speak out in the public domain because they fear that there could be a backlash from the federation. In the TTFI groups, table tennis groups where former players are there, many such messages are floating around that Manika Batra, without Manika Batra, what is the moot point? The moot point is India has to select a team that will go ahead and possibly win a medal at the Asian Games. Can you win without Manika Batra in that team? The answer from among the players, from among former coaches, from among administrators is no. Is no. Will there be a redressal? Will the sports ministry listen? Will somebody intervene? Take the case of Ankur Bhattacharya. Ankur had beaten Chinese players, Fang Bo, for example, most recently. Between him, Harmeet is ranked, or Ankur is ranked at 84. These two rankings are being clubbed. People are not being selected basis international rankings, basis international performance. Ankur has done extremely well, and I can tell you, I have been reading many messages in these groups from former players who say Ankur Bhattacharya has a very strong case. So both men's selection and women's selection, there are very strong cases that selection policies have not been uniform or fair, or they are unethical practices. There has to be transparency, there has to be integrity. People have to come out and say why are certain policies being followed. The Manika Batra case is not a case in isolation. Among the men, the Ankur Bhattacharya case is also another case that one has to keep in mind. So I can tell you this, that as far as Indian table tennis is concerned, the one and only criteria for the Asian Games should be, can this team go ahead and win a medal? A former administrator, a former somebody very higher up in the domain told me that no, the TTFI or the federation has done a team or has picked a team which will be a disaster because these are not the best players who are being picked to represent India in the Asian Games. So Manika Batra, Ankur Bhattacharya, people like them have a very strong case. Will there be redressal? Will there be a relook at this? Will the selection policy change? Will the government of India intervene? Will the sports ministry intervene? We have to wait and watch. Keep watching this space. This is a developing story.